Hi, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do something a little different that I'm gonna actually start doing because when I tell you God been moving, He been moving. So I'm gonna start putting out testimonies, usually on Tuesdays, but today He gave me the okay to do it today. So Testimony Thursday. Um, so sit back, grab you something to drink, water, tea, coffee, a little wine if you need a little razzle dazzle. But let's get into it. I'm just about to tell y'all how God blessed me with my apartment. And if you are waiting for God to bless you with your apartment or a house or anything, if you're displaced or homeless or you just don't have your own place, this is for you. So sit back, get comfy, and let's talk. I have been wanting to move for 2 years. I moved back from Georgia after my separation from my husband at the time. I moved back to Florida, where I'm originally from. And of course, moving back required me moving back home with my mom, me and my 2 boys. And so, it's not really comfortable living back under the roof with your parents as an adult, especially an adult with 2 kids who, kids are loud. Kids are going to be kids. They break things. Like, it's really annoying. Like, just if they break something, you having to apologize. And you actually do feel bad for it being broken. Whereas if they break something in your house, it's like, okay, these are my kids. Things happen. I'm going to fix it. But now it's like I have to go and apologize to my mom and my stepdad and tell them, oh, I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to pay for this, or they broke this. And then you actually genuinely feel bad because it's like, you already kind of feel uncomfortable being there. Now y'all breaking stuff. Come on now. So, it's been very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable living with my mom for so long. I've been on different little wait lists for income-based apartments, like income restricted, because I'm in South Florida. And if you're in South Florida, you know how high rent is. You can't really find a tutu for under $2,100. Can't find it. Unless it's income restricted or income based or whatever. So I've been getting on all these little wait lists, like, God, please let them call me back. I've been on one wait list for 2 years, one for a year, one for like 6 months, even though they said it would be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Yeah, they still never called me. So the apartment that I'm in right now, this apartment was actually the apartment I started looking at in 2022. But I looked at the price and I said, yeah, no, that's not happening. This same exact apartment was $2,400 in 2022. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's out. So that's when I started applying for all the income restricted apartments and all of that. And I saw this one video on YouTube, and this girl, she was just like, this is your sign to go get a key from Home Depot and let that be your key to manifest you getting an apartment. So I'm like, okay. So your girl went to Home Depot, and I got this cute little Hello Kitty key. And I was like, this is going to be the key to my apartment. Now, I never got it cut yet to actually make it fit my apartment key, but I bought this key by faith. And then I went and I bought a couple little things from Dollar Tree, just like cleaning supplies, little stuff that I know I would need once I moved. Just a couple little dishes, couple little forks, plastic stuff. I bought all of that stuff just on faith, right? So fast forward, they just built an apartment complex, brand new, and it was income based. And they had like a credit a minimum credit score of a 600. And at the time, my credit score was not a 600. So I'm like, oh man. So I go and I ask the lady, because I'm like, at this point, I don't have money to be paying for all these different applications and getting denied. So I'm like, hey, will it automatically deny you if you're like at like a 580, 589? And she was like, yeah, it has to be a 600 or it's not, it's gonna decline, it's gonna deny you. So I, of course I'm like, okay. So then I really started, just doing little stuff, paying little stuff off and trying to get my credit right, adding little small trade lines to boost it. And I got it over a 600, right? So then as soon as I get it over the 600 credit score, I go back to that same place and they were like, oh, we're completely full. It's going to be a 3-year wait list. So I'm like, okay, God, obviously you don't want me to get the low income. You don't want me to get the low income apartment. And I'm like, okay, let me backtrack, y'all. So my kids went with their dad for the whole school year last year. So it freed up a little bit of time. I wasn't as uncomfortable in my mom's house. So I stayed at my mom's house by myself for a school year. And that's when it got closer to them coming back in the summer, I was like, it's crunch time. Like, no, they cannot come back here and we still be in the same position, the same predicament. So they came back and we only stayed at my mom's for about 2 months. And God blessed us with this apartment. So let me tell y'all how it happened, because it was just so amazing. I was looking at apartments again. None of the income, for some reason, this one came up as income based. But it's not really all that income based, still a little high. It's more so like workforce housing. If you know, that's more so like for police officers, people who are making like the median average range, like $50-something thousand. People who are making that. I'm not making that yet. But when I tell y'all, this is how I knew it was the grace of God, and God will give you the desires of your heart. I went into the place, I called, and I was just like, hey, how much is it for a 2-2? They told me how much it was. She said it was income based or whatever. And so when I tell you, it was nobody but God, because I did the application and I got denied because of my pay stubs. It was like my kids came back and I had to take like a week or 2 weeks off of work. So it kind of put like a gap in my pay stub or whatever. So the lady calls and she's like, hi, you didn't get approved off of your pay stubs, but send me a job verification letter. Nobody but God, because if you do an application and you're not approved by the pay stubs, that's it, you denied. But she said, send me a letter of verification from employment. So I'm like, all right, God, thank you. This is nobody but you. So we're going to pursue this apartment. Everything was so smooth. The lady was so nice. So then I sent her the thing. The next day she called me and she's like, I have some good news. Your application has been approved and you can move in on September 6th. So I'm like, okay. My whole thing was to move in before October. I wanted to be in my place before my birthday. That was my birthday gift to myself, and that ended up happening. So she was like, you can move in October 6th. Fast forward, I don't have the money October 6th to move in. Now, it was prorated because it was already the 6th day of the month. So that cut it down. So the day of the 6th, I didn't want to call and be like, I don't have the money. Can we push it back? So I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. You know I don't have the funds right now. I'm leaving it in your hands. That lady called me at 12 o'clock and said, Hey, Taria, I'm sorry. We have some bad news. The apartment wasn't available and it won't be available until Wednesday, the 11th. So I'm like, okay, thank you, God. I ain't have to be the one to say I ain't had the money. So then I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. That'll work. So then the 11th come. Tragedy strikes on the 11th. I'm not even gonna lie, which that's gonna be a whole nother story time. But my boyfriend at the time passed away that day. The day I went to go get the keys was the day he passed away. Yeah, that's a whole nother story time, and I'll do that. Okay, but guys, yeah, that is how God blessed me with my apartment. I left one little detail out. After I saw that apartment and I called and they gave me the price, I was driving home from work, and I drive home this way all the time. I never seen the store. I saw the store. After I prayed about it, I saw this big behind store called At Home. And I've heard of it. It's a big like home decor store. So I pulled over, I got off the exit and I went to the store and I just walked through there and it was just so much stuff. And I just felt like, God, are you trying to tell me like that apartment is mine, like at home? Like, is that the confirmation? Because I always ride past this store. So after I left that store, I ended up going to do the application. That's when I tell you guys, she was very, very nice. It just felt good. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I got my apartment. That's how God blessed me. I was listening to God. I was moving when he said move. Every time I felt every time I felt like a nudge to do something, I did it. And it was nobody but God. God ordered my steps. I listened, but I took the initiative. I stopped sitting and waiting for them people to call me, off the wait list. I'm still on the wait list to this day. But yes, if you are wanting to move and your money looking a little funny and your credit ain't right and everything, the odds are against you to move, start taking those little steps. Take those little steps. Go and get you a couple cleaning supplies and put it to the side. And go and get you some silverware and put it to the side. And also go and get you something that says home. Something, some little something. Buy something that you're going to put in your apartment when you get it. And also get you a little key. Get you a key to symbolize you moving into your apartment. Get you a key. You got to move. You got to step out on faith, because honestly, I probably could have been had an apartment. God could have been blessed me with an apartment, but I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And God is a gentleman. He's not going to push up on you. He's not going to force you to do nothing. He give you free will. What you do with it is on you. So yeah, if you take it from me, I ain't had no money. Credit was looking a little funny. But God worked it out. And I got a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for me and my kids. It's more than enough space. And I have a nice balcony with a nice view, y'all. The lighting is pretty good. This is just all natural lighting. Like, when I say God did your thing, he did his thing for your girl. He did his thing. And if he could do it for me, he could do it for you. And he will do it for you. So just step out on faith and just continue to get closer to God. Continue to pray to God so you can hear him clearly and you'll know when to move. I love y'all. Have a blessed day.